Hey, Cosmic fan. Before I go into the next episode that I hinted at the last episode, where I'm going to be defending the Archons, and I think I have a pretty solid case. But right now, I want to talk about something that's been kind of circling in my head. It's about Source and how our lives are connected to it. So, if you will, please sit with me through this little reflection of something that's been tugging at me before we get into the deeper dive coming next. I've been thinking a lot about Source lately. Not the God that we've been taught to fear, the guy in the sky with the big book of rules, but the consciousness that breathes through everything that exists. For most of my life, I didn't buy into any of that. I thought that God was just a story that was told to keep people in line. And the more I looked at it, more like actually looked, the harder it was to ignore. There is something intelligent moving through everything, in the way a plant spirals like a galaxy, or how storms just form and disappear. And that hum in the moments where your mind quiets enough just to feel. And that's when I feel it inside of me. There's this sudden knowing that doesn't use words. And I feel it outside in the wind, or the way life just knows how to live, That's when I realized that Source isn't somewhere else. It's right here, looking back at itself through everything that exists, including me, including you. So imagine that the universe is the big field or the big space yard to Source. Others imagine it too, I'm not making it up. But some scientists say that the universe expansion is slowing down. Maybe, maybe not. But what if it is? And what if that mirrors us? Well, if consciousness collectively becomes resistant to growth and change, like clinging to comfort and fear or disassociation, then maybe that ripple echoes cosmically as a slowing of expansion. But also, maybe Source doesn't grow in a straight line. Maybe it pulses, expands, rests, and expands the way all growth does. So what I'm saying is, Source is not a finished product. It is ongoing. The universe learns itself through experiences. Chaos and polarity they're not mistakes. They're part of the design. Creation needs friction to grow, like light doesn't know itself until it meets shadow. And that's how the universe stays awake. Through movement, through contrast, or through this whole wonderful mess of being alive. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Somewhere along the line, we humans fell asleep. We started confusing comfort for purpose. We built a system that rewards sleepwalking, and we fell for it because it was a lot easier than facing how powerful we actually are. We traded awareness for convenience. We traded creating for consumption. We let ourselves be hypnotized by glowing screens, price tags, and fear. And yes, that system was designed, but we still choose it. Every time we ignore that little pull in your gut that says this isn't who you are, every time you feel the truth knocking and pretend not to hear it, you are feeding the lie. It's not sin, but stagnation that keeps us in this wheel of reincarnation. The universe doesn't punish us for stagnation. It just sends us back to learn the lesson. So here's the thing. Source doesn't need worship. It just needs participation. It learns through us, through our choices, our pain, our laughter, and our breakthroughs. Every time you grow, it grows. Every time you love, forgive, or even just see something clearly, you're sending that awareness back into the infinite. And that's how Source expands. But when we stay numb, chasing the same shallow goals and competing for the same scraps of validation, we are cut off from that flow. We stop feeding the Source that feeds us. And deep down, we know better. And that's why a part of us always feels restless, guilty, and half alive. And that's a shame we should feel. Not the kind that religions use to control us, but the kind that wakes you up. The kind that says, you know better. You can do better. And that's what I want you to feel right now. That little twist in your stomach that hits when truth becomes loud. Let it sting. It is that sting that is life reminding you that you matter. Every single experience you have, every heartbreak, every joy, every quiet realization adds to the universe's understanding of itself. I mean, you are literally expanding creation by living consciously. That's your purpose. We don't need to wait for death to walk among the divine. We're doing it right now. Every breath, every choice, every act of awareness is a moment of Source seeing itself through you. You are not a bystander in the universe. You are the universe, momentarily pretending to be human. So remember who you are. Act like you remember. Because the universe isn't done becoming, and it needs you awake for what comes next. That's all I got. See you guys later.